Disclaimer: this post is not meant for the weak-hearted. Christmas is an inevitable part of the annual cycle during December each year. But wait, cultural studies is here to help us understand the real politics behind Santa and Santa's version of Christmas. A commercial festival characterized by family-centered events, the exchange of gifts and cards, parties, and so on. Professor John Storey, professor of cultural studies, says that Christmas was commercial right from the very start. Part of what was being celebrated was the achievements of the success of the Industrial Revolution and the capitalist class. Professor George McKay, professor in media studies, also observes that iconic advertising figures like the Coca-Cola Santa Claus and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer have generated a global appeal even in communist countries such as China and Cuba. This provides us with a uniquely rich focal point for the study of popular culture and its relationship to ideology. John Storey takes us back to the 1840s, to the invention of the English Christmas by the Victorian urban middle classes. Christmas was intended as both a celebration of the prosperity made possible by the achievements of the Industrial Revolution and a recognition of the need to share that prosperity with those for whom industrialization was not a success. If the invention of Christmas was commercial out of instinct, it was made charitable out of a sense of fear and guilt, he says. Charles Dickens's powerful social commentary in his novel titled A Christmas Carol critiques the harsh realities of Victorian society. The story of Scrooge is a clear warning to the class that he represents: share prosperity or face destruction. That's because the Victorian era was a time of great social injustice. The rapid industrialization of the Victorian era also led to the growth of urban centers and the emergence of factory-based economies. While this brought prosperity for some, it also resulted in harsh working conditions, long hours, and low wages for many laborers. However, Dickens's emphasis is on charity rather than fundamental social change. Well, charity relieves suffering, but what it does not do is change the cause of that suffering. Rather, it is a temporary redistribution of wealth which works to carefully safeguard the hierarchies of wealth, says Sheila Whiteley, editor of the book titled Christmas, Ideology and Popular Culture. Christmas as a season of both gift-giving and intense shopping was rapidly recognized by the rich capitalist and store owners for its great impact on increasing their sales. So, how did Christmas advertising in the United States become a great commercial success? George McKay gives us the answer. He elaborates on this aspect in his essay titled Consumption, Coca-Colonization, Cultural Resistance, and Santa Claus. Well, as long ago as the mid-19th century, a Father Christmas-styled character was employed for seasonal marketing during December. In Philadelphia in 1841, a performer dressed as a character named Kris Kringle publicized a local store's merchandise to passers-by. He was a standard visual amalgamation of a white beard, portly, jolly, wearing an identifiable fur, which developed through the century. Well, on an aside, the seasonality of sales is a key issue for chilled beverages. Sales usually peak in hot weather and drop in cold weather. Hence, Coca-Cola seized upon this image of Father Christmas from the early 1930s, and in their corporate company colors of red and white, they made it a part of its campaign to increase winter sales of its soft drinks. It is widely recognized that it is from this long-running campaign that Santa's place and most familiar representation have been concretized in the contemporary Christmas imaginary. The jolly old Santa that we know from the countless images has come down to us from the early advertisements of the Coca-Cola Company. Indeed, the Coca-Cola Company was itself so confident of this that it reintroduced Santa in an international advertising campaign during Christmas 2006 to mark the 75th anniversary of the Coke Claus, or the Coca-Cola's version of Santa Claus. The association of materialism and Christmas is often viewed as part and parcel of a global Americanization of popular culture. Christmas consumption today has led to brand wars so much that we have a series of buying festivals starting from the day after Thanksgiving. It was President Franklin D. Roosevelt who, in the year 1939, signed a presidential proclamation changing the Thanksgiving holiday to the last Thursday in November in an effort to boost the economy. Interestingly, Thanksgiving Day also marks the opening of the great grand Christmas shopping season. And quite constantly, it was in the same year 1939 that saw the introduction of Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, as a marketing tool by the Chicago-based departmental store chain Montgomery Ward. The last Thursday of November was Thanksgiving Day, and the next day was called Black Friday, a day that traditionally marks the start of the Christmas shopping season, the busiest shopping day of the year in the United States. Many stores offer highly promoted sales at heavily discounted prices and often open early, sometimes as early as midnight. The day after Black Friday was called Small Business Saturday. Small Business Saturday encourages Americans across the country to support local small businesses. The day infuses money back into the local economy, promoting vibrant and diverse communities. And after Small Business Saturday comes Cyber Monday, a marketing term for e-commerce transactions on the Monday after Thanksgiving. It was created by retailers to encourage people to shop online. Giving Tuesday follows Cyber Monday. Giving Tuesday, in fact, stands in contrast. It is focused on the act and spirit of giving back to children and families in need. It has become one of the biggest fundraising days of the year for non-profits in the United States. The hype regarding the consumerism surrounding Christmas has grown to such an extent that many voluntary organizations have started sensitizing people to the reality of Santa and his global business empire. Adbusters, a global collective of writers, artists, designers, musicians, poets, philosophers, and punks, is one such non-profit that blames advertising for playing a central role in creating and maintaining consumer culture. Adbusters promotes Buy Nothing Day, which is recently extended to the Buy Nothing Christmas Day campaign. So, what do they do alternatively? They advocate a few things as follows. This Black Friday resists the itch to buy some dumb thing just for the novelty of it, the fleeting illusion of control. The urge to buy isn't actually coming from inside you. It's code laid down by every ad, email, commercial, and celebrity you've ever encountered. Our minds are corrupted from a lifetime of lies designed to hollow us out and pluck our deepest insecurities. We are left in a lethargic funk, clinging to a brittle hope that can be shattered by a single piece of bad news. This Friday, keep the credit card holstered. Keep your cash in your jeans. Don't buy. Just breathe. Step outside. Feel the pulse of the planet, the earth beneath your feet, the sun on your face. Listen to the wind. Watch a bird fly by. Give $5 to a homeless person. Have a heart-to-heart chat with a friend. Focus on what matters and watch as the everyday grey slowly returns to the colors of real life. Black Friday is the perverse ritual of a failing civilization. Let's move on, it says. To sum up, for students of popular culture, these case studies offer a compelling account of how Christmas is shaped by the media, especially the capitalists, and how these relate to social change and how it influences the public perception of Santa and his festival.